Pincushion Town is a jolly old place, where the lasses are fair and shiny of face, surrounded by water that causes no fright, for they know their pincushions perfectly airtight. Of all the lasses, there was a fairest, it's true. She had a habit of telling everyone, "I'm better than you." And so soon people began talking behind her back. They began to call Quincy a rusty old tack. Quincy was long and sharper than most. Besides her beauty, she had a temper to boast. She had yet to showcase it as she waltzed through the town, blissfully unaware of every insult and frown. Enjoying the sun one day, a ball bounced by. It knocked her arm and sent her drink flying. Bursting it maliciously, with a disdainful sigh, she flicked it aside, as nearby someone began to cry. Ignoring the ruckus, she relaxed and lay back, when she realized the cry was getting louder and louder. Opening her eyes, she saw a crowd staring hatefully back. She tried to protest, but her voice was too soft. Unable to take it anymore, she screamed her head off. Silence fell like a blanket over the whole town. Everyone stared at her shiny head rolling on the ground. Laughter broke forth as the kids noticed poor Quincy. Can't blame them, her one-eyed head looked really quite silly. How things change. Quincy was now the butt of all jokes, a victim not of jealousy, but of numerous cruel pokes. She found she had to hide all of the time. It was as though she committed some sort of crime. Hiding out in the cemetery, she thought long and hard. And as she scrutinized her actions, she realized she was to blame. For they hadn't cared for her character, only admired her beauty. Now, due to her own actions, even that was maimed. Now, being a pin, you tend to be quite fussy. It really wouldn't do to let yourself get rusty. So when the stuffing began to get damp, the pin started to suffer some sort of pain or cramp. Seeing the thread floating, they knew what had happened, but they could think of no solution. They began to get frightened. The rust seemed to spare no one, young nor old. It was reputed to be a truly grisly way to go. Sitting out of sight, Quincy was well aware of the danger. Everything was looking so dismal and gray. Crying her eye out, she noticed something peculiar. Why, the answer is staring right at her in her face. Grabbing some string, she made a quick dash for the sea. With everyone watching her, she quickly disappeared under the surface. The pin stared at the still water for what seemed like forever, racked with guilt, suddenly sorry for their previous behavior. Finally in the water, they saw a flash of movement. Seeing she was unconscious, they pulled her to the pavement. Blinking her eye, she saw them all crowded round. She began to feel uncomfortable, lying there on the ground. "I just want to say I'm sorry for the person I was, so I've stitched up the hole. Please, won't you stop being cross?" In answer, the crowd laughed merrily in her face, not to make fun, mind, but to shower her with praise. "Oh, silly old Quincy Pin, please don't fret. You know you're the bravest pin this town could ever get." So ends the story of this pincushion land, where the pins are fair of face and the needles are grand.